Hey everybody, this is Caitlin here, and welcome back to this week's spoilers for Force of Will, the Reiya cluster starter decks, and all that jazz. This week we are actually going under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. Well, technically we're going below the waves because copyright issues, probably, I'm not too sure. But we're looking at mermaids and other things that live below the waves in this blue starter deck preview. So let's get right on to it. We have the angelic voice mermaid, who is a 1-drop with 1 blue, a 300 mermaid. All these mermaids, by the way, have got the sweetest kimonos on. It's like you never thought to mix kimonos and mermaids. It's just like, it's perfect. It's just so beautiful. And look at that ever-flowing long ponytail there that looks like it could strangle a sailor. It is absolutely gorgeous. When this card enters the field, draw a card if the weather is rain. So basically the theme with this deck, kind of, instead of like getting counters like the panda and the dragonoid had. Instead, we're going to have a weather effect. So I'm not quite sure whether rain is going to be the only weather effect that we're going to have in this cluster, or rather in this like part of the stars and everything like that, because it says rain. I'm maybe thinking that, you know, maybe later down the line we'll get other weather effects, like maybe like drought or like storm or lightning or some other thing, but it seems like a really interesting concept. Obviously, rain, water fits well with the mermaids. Next up, we have Aqua Rifle Mermaid, who is a really lovely art style. I believe this is the same artist who has been doing the basic magic stones for the starter decks, because it's got a very similar art style, and I believe this is the same artist as the Fire and Wind sprite from, was it Return of the Dragon Emperor, I believe, because it's got that kind of similar colour and kind of art style or whatever, so it's really nice. I really like it. This is the Aqua Rifle Mermaid. She is a 3 cost, she's 2 water and 1 void, 700, mermaid, obviously. When this card enters the field, you can rest the target resonator. If the weather is rain, return it to its owner's hand instead. So basically, majority of these things have something to do, or in some interaction with the fact that it's raining. Water magic is less about destroying the problem and more about making sure it's far away, which kind of reflects a lot about how water, or rather blue, is treated in Force of Will, and that blue is usually the thing that bounces stuff back to hand and things like that. Our next card here is a chant. It is a quick cast one. It is Cleansing Rain. It is a 2-drop quick cast, so it's 1 blue and 1 void. I actually really like the artwork here. It looks like she's kind of holding some kind of jellyfish umbrella that is like propelling rain outwards. That's something that's pretty neat. Return target resonator to its owner's hand. If the weather is rain, put it on top of its owner's deck instead. And at the bottom here, we've got a little quote from our ruler here, who's, I think, Sheila. Or I believe it's pronounced Sheila, because like there's an A there, so it makes me believe that. Could you please go over there for a moment? I love that. It's just so cute. It's really cute. Next up, we do not have a mermaid. We actually have a giant sea jelly, or jellyfish rather, which kind of looks weird because there's like a load of little like red dots or whatever in its like head area, or whatever you want to call it. And you know, the underneath tentacly part is all red and purple and like rather scary looking. I'm not the biggest fan of jellyfish, to be fair. I don't really like them. They kind of creep me out. But this is a 2-drop resonator. It's 1 water, 1 void. A 500, obviously it's a jellyfish. This card gains 200 as long as the weather is rain. So, you know, more rain shenanigans here. It seems like they sting even worse in the rain. I'm not quite sure how that would be put. I suppose the jellyfish is technically stronger in the rain for some reason, even though it's beneath the waves and all this stuff. So, I'm not quite sure why it would be stronger under the water. But I'm not going to argue with it. We're going to move on to even more terrifying things with a dolphin, a wise dolphin named Peko, who is pink for some reason and has a majestic monocle and like a bell. And so, how does this dolphin wear this weird majestical bell scarf when it's technically not even look at the top of it. The top of it isn't even connected. Why does this thing not float off its neck and like float up to the surface of the water? Just the mechanics of this dolphin, man. I don't know if it's going to help the meta or anything like that. But as a 2-drop water resonator, is 2 water. 600, scary pig dolphin. This card gains flying as long as the weather is rain. This card cannot be blocked by just without flying. You know, just a like trademark. Able to communicate with other sea life, Sheila has made good friends with a dolphin. I don't know why she'd want to make good friends with this dolphin, because this dolphin is scary as all hell. Not sure if I trust it. Not sure if I trust this dolphin, but you know what? I guess it's cool. It can hang out with us. It's got a little monocle or whatever. Seems friendly, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about this dolphin. But next up, we have Princess Sheila's Attendant, and she is absolutely adorable. Just look at her. She's so, like, she's got like little Vaporeon ears with the little fin ears, and she's got like a little Slowpoke. Is it Slowpoke? No, it's Slowbro. A Slowbro shell in her hair. She's got like this little water lily thing. She's got a really cute kimono, and she's like, "Ah, princess, where are you?" That's my voice. I imagine her. I imagine that Sheila just like wanders off in the ocean like half the time. She's like, "Yo, I'm going out, peeps. Don't worry about me." And like literally all her attendants like freak out, kind of like the Little Mermaid when like Ariel just like randomly disappears to go looking for stuff, and everyone's just like, "Oh, where does she go?" But anyway, she's a 1-drop mermaid. She's 300 to 200. This card gains 200 200 as long as the weather is rain. So again, she gets to be buff as long as it's raining, even though she's freaking out and looking for her princess. She's totally adorable. I need to draw her at some point. I don't know why I need to draw her, but I need to draw all the mermaids, especially this mermaid here, who for some reason has legs. I'm not too sure why. But this is Sheila, our ruler. She's just called Sheila. That's it. She doesn't have any other title on the side of the card. She is just Sheila. She's a mermaid, even though she has legs. Her judgment is 3, so it's 2 blue and 1 void. She's obviously got the energizer for water, obviously. The weather is rain during your turn. So basically, since Sheila is our jailer, it's basically always going to be raining on our turn. And we can get all our janky buffs and things like that on our turn, which is awesome. We can tap her and we can search our deck for a card named Weather Change Rain. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So obviously this card is obviously going to work with the rain mechanic and everything like that. And Sheila is able to search it out for us to make use of it. But she is looking really cute. I like this guy in the background here. I don't know if you can see him off to the side, like the right hand side. He seems to be carrying her shopping, and I don't know why. Like his hairstyle reminds me of the Golf 3 Resonator Triton, which I don't believe, like, obviously I think this is just like a random character, I don't think he's actually going to be a Resonator or something like that, but if he is, it would be really funny if it was, or like her, like just another attendant of hers, but this time it's this one that's just carrying all the shopping. I think that's really cute. And at the bottom here we have the sealed ability, which again, we still don't really know what it is. It kind of looks similar to her umbrella, in that it's kind of like a parasol shape or whatever, and it looks like a little droplets of rain coming down from it, so maybe it's got something to do with the rain mechanic. I'm not too sure. But at the bottom it's like Princess of the Merfolk who live beneath the water, which doesn't really, it's not exactly the best English. I think it should read Princess of the Merfolk who lives beneath the water. I think that would make more sense, actually. But she's really cute. I love her. She seems to be just, like, super duper cool. She's just like, yo, I'm going to go up to the surface world. I'm going to go shopping. Screw all the scavenging stuff. I can just buy all the trinkets that I want. But when she flips over, wow, she is majestic. And she is actually a mermaid with her little funny tail. And she's got, like, a little water dragon-y thing. Or is that a seahorse? It looks like a seahorse, actually. Just, like, sat with her. She is Sheila, the mermaid princess. And this is actually full art, which I'm not quite sure if the other preview articles were ever spoiled or whatever, but I believe, if I'm correct, is that the cards in the starter decks, at least I believe the J-Ruler side will always be full art. I don't know about the Ruler side, or whether any of the other cards will technically be full art, similar to Golf 3. Obviously, we're not getting any foils or whatever in this, so we did get told that there was no foils. So maybe to counter that, maybe the majority of stuff will be having full art, which is amazing, because that way we can appreciate this gorgeous artwork of Sheila right here. She looks awesome. She's a 1,000-1,200, which I believe pretty much all the J-Rulers maybe have this stat. I might be wrong. I might have like misremembering that. I'm pretty sure the Panda and the Dragonite also had the same stats. I could be wrong though, and I could just be misremembering that. But when she flips, the weather is rain. So basically, the weather is always rain. It doesn't say on your turn. It just says weather is rain. So when we flip her, basically, it's raining for days. So we don't need to worry about that too much. And when this card enters the field, you draw a card, and she has her sealed ability, and that's basically it. She is probably the most simple out of all the J-Rulers thus far that we have seen. So she's a lot simpler than the Panda King and the Dragonoid. We basically want to flip her when we want to make sure we got rain for days, which is awesome. And she's not like totally weak, so we can like happily flip her quite early, and she could at least be protected and whatnot. Maybe even slip in a little what's his face? Maybe slip in the Flip's water dragon, and then just use that to tap for our stones while we keep this standing. That would be a pretty good move. I think that'd be a pretty good way, like, to kind of help the deck, because that way she can even be a blocker or whatever, and make sure that we don't have to constantly tap her for stones, because a 1,200 blocker is pretty intimidating. But at the bottom here, it's like, oh, looks like good weather today. Looks like it's going to be raining for days. I guess the mermaids like the rain. They probably love it. Next up, we have Stormbolt, which is just a regular chant. This is a 2-cost. It is 1 water and 1 void. You choose one. If the weather is rain, then you may choose up to 3. So basically, if it's on our turn, which since this isn't quick cast, we are most likely doing this on our turn anyway. Draw a card, or prevent all damage that would be dealt by target J/Resonator until end of turn, or rest target J/Resonator. So, since this isn't quick cast, I'm assuming we would use this to make sure that if we are swinging with something and our opponent does choose to block, their damage is not hurting our resonator, therefore our resonator is, doesn't need to worry about dying or anything like that, because obviously this card isn't quick cast. We don't have any ways of making it quick cast unless you ran is it the blue planet or something like that, which basically when the seal's broken it makes all your cards quick cast, but not sure if you'd want to be splashing that in this deck or whatever. Get it? Splashing because we're under the weight. No, I'm going to stop. Stop with the puns. But yes, this is an interesting card. I'm not quite sure what this mermaid is doing to this poor defenseless dragon. I'm not too sure, but it doesn't seem very nice. Next up, we have the White Whale. This is Moby Dick. It is a 3 cost. It's 1 water and 2 void. It's 1,000. This whale looks like it's having a hell of a time about to smash up the ship. This card cannot attack or block unless the weather is rain. So basically, it can only attack on our turn, obviously, because we can only attack on our turn. It cannot block on our opponent's turn unless we make it raining. So we need to either have our jailer on its jailer side to make sure it's raining for days, or we have some other means of making it rain. Tranquil or terrible, depends on the sky. Wow, that is so deep and symbolic. Next up, we have a Wave Rider Mermaid, who's a 4 cost. It is 3 water and 1 void, who is looking hella beautiful. I'm liking her. She's super cute. She's a 1,000 mermaid. This card gains a 200 and flying as long as the weather is rain, which, how a mermaid flies is beyond me. And then you can pay 2 water, rest target resonator, play this ability only if the weather is rain. So, again, only do this on your turn, or if you've flipped your day ruler, or if you've had the means to make it raining, which you could use with this next card, which is Weather Change Rain. And oh my goodness, this artwork is oh my goodness, it's hella pretty. It is a 1 cost quick cast chant, and basically the only thing it does is that the weather is rain until end of turn, and draw a card. So I believe this is the card that Sheila herself searches out when you tap her. So this is mainly to be used on your opponent's turn, obviously, because it can make it rain on your opponent's turn, and then you can block with the stuff that's yo, you can't block unless it's raining, but then you'll be like, hey, it's raining now, hallelujah, and you can draw a card as well. So some people would say it's maybe not that good a card considering your net gain isn't that much. But, for one, you get to draw a card. Hey, you got a splashy, you got a little bit of water. It's all good. It's all good. I like it. Next up, we have the special magic stone for this deck, which is the Shoal Coral Stone. And this mermaid here is looking pretty serious. Whatever, she's got horns coming out of her head. That's, pretty scary. She looks super serious. She's like, don't touch my stone. It's a special magic stone. You treat it as a water magic stone. It produces water. You can banish this card, and the weather is rain until end of turn. Not sure if I'd want to be banishing my stone to make it rain when we've got a quick cast spell that does it for us. But, whatever floats your boat, whatever sinks your boat, I suppose. And then lastly, we have the Water Magic Stone, which again is by this wonderful artist, which I can't actually say their name at the bottom there because I'm going to mispronounce it, so I apologise. But your magic stones are hella pretty, and this one is being guarded by a lovely little mermaid there. So it is very, very beautiful, and I approve wholeheartedly. So that's it for these spoilers, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the merfolk, of the mermaids, and the random dolphin and the whale. I think they're really interesting. I am still not sure exactly because I'm going to be going to a starter deck tournament or whatever for my locals. I'm still debating which deck I want to pick. I obviously want to pick up all the decks at some point because I feel like going into the new cluster, having all the starter decks and their exclusive cards would be very helpful in going forward and making decks and whatnot. I'm just not sure which one I'll be playing in particular for this. I feel like so far I'm leaning towards the mermaids, although I am going to have to wait because vampires are also one of the things I really like as well. So I could be swayed by the vampires, but currently I feel like maybe mermaids. But until next time, guys, I will see you all later.